Hello everyone and welcome to Glow Up Over 50 with Kim, where today we are doing a full face of e.l.f. products to see how these products are going to perform on mature skin like mine. So you are going to want to stick around. I'm very excited. I always told myself that I would, if I ever start a YouTube channel, my first full face would be Charlotte Tilbury, but I was just a few products short of being completely ready to do that brand. But I do have everything that I need for e.l.f. I have foundation, I have powder, I have mascara, and eyebrow pen. I have everything. So let's get started. First, I have my Longevity Cream by Tatcha. It has an Okinawa extract in it. I'm really liking how my makeup performs when I have that on. I have Summer Fridays sunscreen. It's an SPF of 30. I have that on right now. And lips, I have Dr. Dennis Gross's Plump and Repair Lip Treatment in pink. So, and I've covered my dark spots, just spot check them with my clay to post stick. And if you have not seen my shorts on how I've been covering my spots before I put on foundation, I will put that right in the corner. All right, so let's get started, shall we? I already have my primer on, my P. Louise primer, and I've powdered down. So let's go ahead and get started with this baby right here. It is the Keep It Ethereal Palette. Look at this. A number of mattes, a number of shimmers. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, I'm going to start with this shade right here for my transition. I had temporarily misplaced my primer, my eye primer, and I did makeup a couple times without it, and let me tell you, I'm so glad that I found it again. My eye makeup was just a little too patchy. It was hard to blend. It didn't stay on as long. So I may not use primer on my face, for my complexion, but I will always use it on my eyes. I have two. Okay, so being a hooded eye person, make sure we do it above the crease. Today we are traveling. My middle son is graduating from college today. So proud of him. So we, as a family, will be traveling about 4.5 hours to go celebrate with him. So I wanted to get this video taped so I could edit it in the car. All right, so there is the transition shade, neutral base there. Okay, my only complaint with this palette is I wish that it had a lighter cream, because that's not going to work for my complexion, but other than that, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, on the outer corners, let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's go in with that bad boy right there. There's no shade names, so I have to go with bad boy. All right. And remember, with any eye look of mine, please don't judge it until the very, very end, because I go in and it just looks very rough until the very end. After that, comment, please do. But before that, it's really, there's no point, because it's going to change. It's going to be more blended. Especially I go in the very end and I do, I put concealer here at the very end to get a more lifted look. So that's why I kind of overdo it, the eye right here. So when I go in with that process, I don't lose absolutely everything. Okay. A lot of people make a V here, make their V. But by the time you blend it, it's going to look like this anyway. So, are you an e.l.f. fan? Before this, I did not have a lot of e.l.f. products. I did go out and buy a few things to get stocked up for the video. I had a few things. I had a lip liner, I had the eyebrow wax, or the gel. I had this shimmer. This is the Finest Fleck. I've been using the heck out of this one. Whew, beautiful, beautiful. But I will use a shimmer out of the palette today. All right, let me just diffuse this out a little bit by flicking, shading. Oh, isn't makeup fun? Isn't makeup fun? If I didn't have to edit, I would just makeup. I would make videos doing makeup all day. I would. The editing part is what's getting that's the hard part for me. But the makeup part, oh, love it. Now we are on to the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner. This is in Coffee. Now, I've been on my soapbox about not going too dark for the eye, and then it can sometimes look a little boxy, and it sometimes can age us. However, I could not find a lighter looking eyeliner when I was shopping. So this is going to be a little on the darker side. So this is what it looks like right there. I'll put it on my hand. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to go in with this and just try not to overdo it with the darkness. I've been doing darker to get that almond look to my eye. I've been doing darker and then diffusing inward. Yeah, the so-called perfect eye is supposed to be an almond. So that's what we're trying to create with the eyeliner. If this doesn't run, I'm gonna have a full day of being on the road. Don't want to have to be constantly getting my almond oil out with a Q-tip. We do what it takes, right? Now, instead of going all the way across with this dark liner, going about a third, and then I'm diffusing. All right, and what I mean by diffuse is by taking a brush similar to this, like a smudger, and instead of taking the liner all the way across, just kind of smudge it with the brush. It did go on very nicely, very smooth. The gel eyeliner, so there's no like hesitation going across. I have a feeling that this might smudge a little. Well, I'm smudging it right now across the eyeline, but I mean below the eyeline. I think that might show up a little bit. What we can do is, well, we can go back in with the eyeshadow and put it on our bottom lid. And that locks the eyeliner in quite well. Let's use this. This is by Refer 21. Go back into our transition shade and just lock that eyeliner in with the shadow, plus creating, it's just furthering our look. Go back in there and do that again once I put my concealer on. All right, let's get to our shimmer. I'm going to go with this one right there. Another bad boy, it's Bad Boy 2. And we're going to place that on our mobile lid. Beautiful. I think this is just as pretty as the Finest Fleck. Have a little bit more of just more dimension to it. More of the glittery kind of flecks. Went on smoothly. Good job, e.l.f. Okay, let's get to complexion. I do have some Thirst Burst drops, dewy and brightening. It's a serum. It has 5% niacinamide in it, so it is going to be a brightening. It is going to have a brightening effect. This is what the consistency looks like, and I'm just going to put it on the high points of my cheeks and in my T-zone. I have combination oily skin, so I have to watch products like this, but I did want to show you and see how this performs for me. Let's get to foundation, and we will be using the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is in shade Light Cool 23. Shake it up really good. Shake, shake, shake. All right, I'm going to put it on my hand. Pretty thick. This is a medium, I believe medium to full cover, lasting, medium, buildable coverage. Okay, so let's see how this does. All right. I'm going to do a brush, and I'm going to start in the center. Looks to be a pretty good shade match. I was concerned because I did self-tan last night, so I thought it might be a little off, but this is going to work. Work my way out. Before I make any sort of recommendation for products, I'll wear this a few different ways, a few different times, under different circumstances with different products underneath, different moisturizers, may try it with a primer, just to give you a good idea. I want to get a good read of a product before I recommend it. But I did want to show you today what it looks like initially. And as is, take it for face value right now. I have no idea how this is going to perform. It may be all off my face in a couple hours. I don't know, but hopefully not. I'm going to set it. All right, what are you thinking so far? I still see it's covering. These are my initial thoughts. It's covering. I still am seeing some imperfections coming through, which is it's not a bad thing. Still see some freckles, still see some dark spots, but hey, that's what medium coverage does. Our mature skin, the most natural look. So I'm not mad at it. Nope. Not at all. Coverage, I do Estee Lauder. Yesterday, I found a dupe for Estee Lauder. I believe it is Guerlain, Terracotta Guerlain. I'm going to test it a few more times before I announce that officially. But man, I did a split face right down the middle. Man, did they look similar. Performed very similarly too. All right, let's see what we've got here with e.l.f. in our Soft Glam. All right. I'm not liking this right here. I'm thinking maybe with a sponge, this would have looked a little more smooth. I'm going to go in one more time just to see what I can get away with. Let's test that. There we have our e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Finish Foundation. We'll see what that does once that sets a little bit. Okay, I don't have a contour product from e.l.f. I do have a bronzing product, however, if I can find the cap for this. Okay, I do have a bronzing product. It's the Bronzing Drops. So, since we're brave, let's try it. How I'm going to do this is place it on my hand as well. I'm going to show it to you. There we are. It's pretty dark. And this is going to bronze. Not much of a contour product. A little bit of one. Not a whole lot of gray in there. Okay, it's contouring. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Some more. All right. It is bronzing up the skin quite nicely. Quite a few hydrating products on my skin already, and I do have oily skin. I'm not going to do this myself, but I do have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, where you would place this in the high parts of your cheeks and down your T-zone. But I think this is going to bring way too much shimmer and shine to my look, so I'm going to forego that. But if you have dry skin and are trying to bring that hydration and that glow to you, down the center and on the high points, okay? But I've already essentially done that with the Dewy Brightening Drops. Cleaned. Have to watch right here what this is looking like. I've got some melasma right there. And I don't want you to think that that is a fault of the product. Okay. All right, let's do some concealer under our eyes. I have two shades. I have the Fair Warm and Light Ivory. Let's see what Fair Warm. That is Fair Warm. That is very light. A lot of yellow. And then the Light Ivory is this one. So we have Fair Warm and Light Ivory. Very similar. Let's go ahead and do the Light Ivory. No, let's do, I don't know. Let's do light ivory. All right, I go on the side, the inner corner, outer corner. Down for just a second. But not too long. Okay. I rarely go in a second pass for concealer. I just don't want a lot of product under there. Very thin skin. Okay, let's powder this down. I have the Halo Glow setting powder color that has a pink, much like Givenchy. I'm just going to pour just a little bit out on my hand. That probably overdid it a little bit. And I'm going to take a powder brush. This is Nikki LaRose's powder brush, small one, and just set that under eye with the e.l.f. setting powder. That might be a little too light. Not the powder, but the concealer. Okay. Let's see, how can we darken this up a little bit? I mean, later I will probably go in with a bronzer. I don't have an e.l.f. powder bronzer. I just have the bronzing drops, but that's not going to help right here. Okay, well, there is the concealer. We'll see how that starts performing. Let's get to our eyebrows. I do not specifically have an eyebrow product from e.l.f. So let me just quickly do my eyebrows. I did want to come in with the brow lift and show you how the brow gel is going to perform. Just put that on my eyebrows right here and allow them to start lifting my eyebrow hairs up. The other side. Go a little up. There we go. All right, once that dries down a bit, I'll go in with my NYX Lift and Snatch and fill in those little brow hairs. But we also want to kind of angle . Okay, I have the Putty blush. I do not know the shade of this, unfortunately. That is what it looks like. There, nice pinkish peach. So what I do, I also have a powder. So what I do is I go in with the cream first. I'll go in with a brush similar to this. High points. Nice. Don't you love blush? Blush is so much fun. I don't know why there's no shade name to this. I'll have to look it up. Everything will be linked below. Man, that really that really made things come alive, didn't it? We no longer just focus on the apples of our cheeks. I don't. Now that I'm older, I give myself a lift. That is my son, if you hear him in the background. Not the one that's graduating, my youngest. Can you tell? He's hilarious. Okay. All right, now to seal the deal, I go in with a powder. Anything that's wet, we set. So go in with the powder. I'm going to use a BK Beauty powder brush 104. Go in with the product and tap it out. Diffuse it a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. That is setting that cream powder and adding to the overall look of the complexion. Okay, I may have gone overboard just a touch. Let's diffuse the edges. Pat out some of the excess. All right, remember how I put a little eyeshadow on that bottom lid and I said once we put concealer, I might have to go back in. I want to go back in. I want to go back into that transition shade and swipe it again, because I think we lost something. Once we started blending concealer, I think we lost this just a touch. Okay, let's do mascara. This is the e.l.f. Incredu-Curl Mascara, Curling and Volumizing. Ooh la la. It says 168% improvement in volume. And this is deep brown. I'm always a black mascara person. This is my first brown mascara. You've heard. Okay, here we go. We're going to wipe off the excess because we don't want gunk. We want a nice clean application. Look at this wand. I love how it curls. I wonder if that adds to the volume. Okay. Some of my favorites are the Tartelette mascara. I'm a big Lancome mascara person. Cali Ray. I don't like spending a lot of money on mascara because I don't think that's where the impact is. So I want to be careful. Spend the money where it's going to make the bigger impact. My opinion. All right, just very, very softly down here. Just give a swipe. All right, let's go on the other side. So go in. Definitely take off the gunk. This seems gunky. This mascara is the ones you've already used a day or two and it's been sitting out. All right. Right, it's covering every single lash. It is giving nice volume. I do like the curl. I do like the shape of the applicator. And go down here. He's just whistling away. Has no idea he's on YouTube. All right. Let's now move to lip liner. I will be using today the Cream Glide Lip Liner in Pinky Swear. Pinky Swear. Nice. Nice. Nice pink. Nice springy color. Go over. I'm going to overline a little bit on the bottom. And overline here. All right, and for lipstick, I don't have an e.l.f. lipstick. I am going to use Huda Beauty's Interview. Okay. And there we are. Let's powder down. And, oh, I do have lip gloss by e.l.f. I have two shades. One is the Reviver Oil in Super Neutral, and the other is Pink Quartz. Let's go with Pink Quartz since we have a pink theme going on here. I'm going to put in the center. Pucker. All right. Let's pat it down a little more. Go back in with a powder puff. And, oh, we'll use our e.l.f. powder. Put some back in my hand. A little bit more of that. All right. Take the powder puff, get some excess off, and start applying. What are you guys thinking so far? Do you like the look? I'm anxious to see how it wears today. I'm going to angle up here. This is my little mini bake, if you will. And I do apologize for the background sounds if you can hear them, but this is my house. This is my life. It's real life, right? All right. And I will swipe away with a La Mer powder brush. I don't have a setting spray by e.l.f., but I do have Cali Ray. The Cali Ray Surf Proof. And there you have it. What do you think? I really do like it. I I do like how the foundation went on. I'm a little concerned about a few areas that look just a touch patchy, such as right here. And I'm not getting the full coverage. That is after about 3 applications. But this dark spot is very, very hard to cover anyway. So, really liking the eyeshadow, Ethereal, Keep It Ethereal Eyeshadow Palette. The mattes are just gorgeous. The shimmers that I used, I think is really, really pretty. If I had a lighter shade, I would go right under here with this under my eyebrow just to highlight, but I don't think that's going to be light enough to do that. But yeah, this is the overall look. I hope you enjoyed it. And please comment below if there is a particular product that you like, that you want to try. Please like, please share, and please coming back for more, where I'll be giving more recommendations for mature skin. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.